I struggled to gain weight my entire life. I was the kid who drank the Pediasures. I was the adult and the teenager who drank the Ensures. I could not keep on weight. My leggings used to fit baggy on me until recently I went from this to this. So in this video, I will show you guys not only how I gained weight, but also how I kept weight on, because every so often I would gain a little bit, but then it felt like the wind would blow and I would just lose it. So I'm going to explain to you how to not have that happen to you. The first thing I'm going to need you to do is, now, of course, everyone is going to say, how do you gain weight? You need to increase your calorie intake and you need to increase your protein intake. We already know that. If you have like an A-type personality and you want to be really specific about it, you can go on Google and type in, how many calories do I have to eat a day to gain blank amount of many pounds? They will have like these calorie metric things come up and they'll have you put in your weight, they'll have you put in your calorie now, they'll have you just put in different things about yourself and then give you an approximately how many calories do you need to eat a day to get to your ideal weight goal. I've tried that before. It did not work for me. First and foremost, calorie counting is just not my thing. It becomes way too difficult. I can only do it for about a week and then it becomes too hard, especially because I'm one of those people, once I buy some meat like chicken or ground beef or whatever the case may be, I put it in a plastic bag and I put it inside of the freezer once I separate it. I don't know how much calories is in this chicken when I'm cooking it. I don't know how many calories, you get what I'm saying, is in this ground beef or whatever I'm cooking, or how much protein is inside of it. So that also will mess me up as well. So I personally do not calorie count, but if you want to do that, that's the option. What I started doing, first you have to start with the basics. With what you already eat in a day, figure out how to add more calories and more protein to those things already. For me, one thing, a staple inside of my household now is cottage cheese. Now, before you guys be like, ew, cottage cheese does not have a flavor to it. A lot of people just don't like cottage cheese because of the texture, which I definitely can understand. But for a long time, I did not eat cottage cheese because I thought that it tasted nasty. And then I had it one time and I'm like, this don't taste like nothing. Nonetheless, I put cottage cheese in my eggs. Before you say ill, nasty, when you go to the restaurants and the hotels and they have the fluffy eggs, you know why? It's because they add milk to it. Get a frother, mix it up with the frother. It's the same thing as adding milk, but cottage cheese has a lot of protein and it has a lot of calories. I do the same thing with my pancakes. I'll add cottage cheese. Sometimes I add a little bit of protein powder. I do the same thing with my pasta. Last night I made like some Alfredo kind of, pasta from scratch. I put some cottage cheese in there. It literally tastes the same. Like if I would have had you taste it with or without cottage cheese, you wouldn't taste the difference. You season it up, you don't know the difference. I do the same thing with chia seeds. Chia seeds are really good for protein and they're really good for calories. I think like 2 scoops of chia seeds is like 150 or like 200 calories. Nonetheless, I put that sometimes inside of my yogurt, or I'll have like chia seed pudding. And these are things that I was already going to eat, or sometimes you can put them inside of your oatmeal. Essentially, I want you to understand you need to just find out ways to add higher calorie protein things and things you already eat. Peanut butter is great for that. Avocados are great for that. Like the things that you already eat on a day-to-day basis, just figure out how you can add higher protein, higher calorie things. Instead of adding only cream cheese or cream cheese to your bagel, maybe you're gonna mix up some avocado, put a little bit of everything bagel seasoning or season it to your like, and instead put avocado on your bagel. I realized that really saved me because it had me eating in the beginning about 150 to 300 more calories every single day. And that's the beginning. When you first, you get what I'm saying? You're not really eating that much and you still get used to it. Then as time went on, I started adding more chia seeds. I started adding more cottage cheese. I started adding more of these things and just finding out more things. And then eventually I found myself eating 400 more calories a day, 500, 600 more calories a day. And that was literally just from the stuff that I was already eating. This is before I started focusing more on like protein yogurt instead of regular yogurt. Now I try to eat more so protein, like pasta instead of regular pasta. Like before you try to change your diet completely, because I know that's what everybody wants to do, figure out the things that you already eat and then figure out how you can add high calorie, high protein things. Literally go on TikTok, search up high calorie, high protein sides or high calorie, high protein things to add to your food. And you will find out you literally can start a day eating 300 plus calories starting tomorrow. And that's thousands of calories a week. The next thing I want you to start doing, eating larger portion sizes. How are you going to do that? As a high metabolism girly, I know I do not finish my food either. To this day, I still don't finish my food, but I still eat more calories. How is that possible? And more protein. I give myself bigger plates and I put my food inside of bigger containers. One of the problems is a lot of these containers, especially the meal prep and plan things, are made for people who are trying to lose weight. So they are very small. They can fit but so much. I will link some below. Use the larger containers simply because they can pack more food into them. Now, I know some of y'all are like, but I don't really eat that much anyway. I'm not going to finish it. You're going to finish more than you think you are going to do. This was not even recent. Maybe like a few years back, scientists did like this study, and it actually was just, they were using it for brain power. It wasn't even talking about like weight, but they kind of found it out in that way, or like calorie eating. Long story short, they had groups of people over the course of different days watch a movie. They asked them after the movie, how was the movie? During the movie, they gave everyone popcorn. They had them all eat the popcorn, and then they had like an usher at the end come and like take the popcorn away from them, and they asked everyone, how was the movie and how was the popcorn? Everyone rated the movie differently, of course, but then the popcorn, everyone said it was disgusting. Everyone said it was nasty. That was the whole point. The popcorn was about 2 to 3 days old. They gave them stale popcorn on purpose. They found out about 98 or like 90 something % of the time, the people who had the bigger containers ate more popcorn. Why is that? They all had stale popcorn. And then when they would ask some of them about it, they would be like, oh, no. That's how much popcorn I would eat regularly. They're like, that's just like, I would eat that regardless. No, they found out when they had a larger container, their bodies were just like, keep going. Even if they didn't, most of them didn't finish it, of course, because it was stale, but it just seems like they had to finish more. I've noticed that about myself. If I go out and get like an 8-ounce steak or like a 6-ounce steak, I might finish half, maybe 75%. But if I go out and get like a 10-ounce steak or a 12-ounce steak, I will do the same thing. I will finish half or I will finish 75%. But that's me literally basically finishing the 6-ounce steak or the 8-ounce steak. Not really sure the specific science behind it, but essentially your body will complete more when it sees that there's a bigger task at hand. A lot of time, especially being a high metabolism girly, a slim girly, a small girly, we make like these little plates because we're like, oh, I will finish the food anyway. No, you need to start making bigger plates. And then of course, over time, your body will start to make that a normal for you. That will be normal. But I think it was so hard for me to increase my calorie intake because my plates were so small. My servings were so small and my body just got accustomed to that. But then when I had bigger plates and bigger servings, I still don't finish my food all the time. I still don't. But now I do get into eat more calories and more protein. That's why I trick my mind into saying, we don't got to finish this. But I trick my mind into still eating more, kind of by doing less. So there's that. Next, I'm going to need you to start planning your meals. Now, meal prepping is great, but planning your meals is where you need to start. I plan my meals for a Monday, Friday type basis. On Saturday, I make a list inside of my planner of all the food that I'm going to be eating every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then on Sunday, I shop only for that food. This is great for 2 things. One, it makes sure that I save money, because I'm not out here buying stuff that I might not eat. I'm not here buying stuff that's gonna go to waste. But then 2, it makes sure that I specifically buy, kind of going back to the high protein additives and stuff like that, that is more so focused on protein. So this makes sure I probably buy more so protein yogurt than just regular yogurt. This makes sure I more so buy the protein pasta than regular pasta. The whole idea behind it is just to be very specific, because it's very easy for you to get off of work and be like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat today, and then eat something that you know it's not good for protein or calories. It's really easy for you to wake up late for work one day and you're like, I don't have too much time and I don't know what I want to eat, and then you don't eat nothing, or you also eat something that's not good for you. And so I definitely recommend to plan your meals. Yes, meal prepping is great as well, but I think sometimes people feel like, oh, well, if I don't prep it before, like if I don't cook it before, what's the point of planning it? I'm telling you, planning makes you more intentional. It's not exactly calorie counting, if you will, but it's in a sense kind of the closest that I personally get to it. I don't count specifically how many calories, but my whole thing is just more. Like I want to make sure I eat high calorie things. I want to make sure I eat whole food things that are, you get what I'm saying, are more in protein than not. Because I noticed if you just leave it up to me, I'm gonna just eat what I eat. And obviously the things that I was eating led me to the position that I was in, and the position I was in was not the one that I wanted to be. Okay, so you need to start planning those meals, scheduling them in the same way you schedule in everything else. Now, I know some people are gonna be like, yeah, but you're talking about planning breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't even eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I eat 2 times a day if I'm lucky. Sometimes I only eat one. Yes, I was that girly as well. I completely understand. I'm part of the community. Essentially, I want y'all to understand one of the biggest things you need to do to start gaining weight is to start waking up earlier. And when I say waking up early, it does not mean sitting in the bed on your phone on TikTok and Instagram for hours. It means physically getting up and starting your day earlier. I don't think you realize those 1 to 2 hours you sit in the bed, sometimes even 45 minutes you sit in the bed can waste you 150 to 300 calories every single day. The reason is because you don't realize sitting in bed, like your body starts to get used to that, right? So your body starts to feel like, okay, we do not eat in the morning. It just becomes a thing for your body. So you feel normal. You're like, oh, I can go to work without eating and I can go hours without eating. Yes, because your body just started getting used to that. Like your body knows, hey, you don't feed us anyway. So it's no point in us making you tired. It's no point in us making you feel, like you don't feel good because we know we ain't gonna get nothing. No. You can eat in the morning. A lot of people convince themselves that they can't. It's just your body isn't accustomed to it. Start with small things. Like one of the things I started doing in the morning, protein yogurt, a little bit of granola, and some frozen fruit. And then some honey sometimes too. It'll make it a little sweet. But like you do not have to eat this big full-fledged meal. Even with the eggs, 2 eggs with some cottage cheese. And if you like regular cheese too, you can add in there. I personally don't like regular cheese, but to each its own. Like that right there itself is like 250 calories. And that's not that much eggs. I promise you, when you whip them together, it's not that much. 2 eggs themselves, look at like 60 plus 60, or it's like 70 plus 70, depending on the size of the eggs. That's 140 calories. You add a certain amount of scoops of protein to it. That comes from the cottage cheese. Then if you want to sprinkle a little bit of eggs in, then if you want to have a little sausage on the side or something on the side, you just added 200 to 300 calories. And it wasn't really nothing to you. And I think that's another thing too. Like you have to start waking up earlier. You give yourself such a small time span, especially when you start getting into the protein shakes. Oh, well, I eat a protein shake and I'm full all day. Yes, it's simply because you have such a small time span of when you start eating and you stop eating. But if you wake up earlier, it will make the time span longer, which means it'll give you more time to start consuming food. So you need to start waking up earlier and you need to start going to sleep. I wouldn't say go to sleep right after you eat. Definitely do not do that. Give your body at least like 2 hours, 1 hour and 30 minutes to digest the food. But essentially also do not be in the bed all night, because that's another reason why a lot of people struggle with gaining weight. You will eat at the last time like 7 o'clock and then you will go to bed at 12. So in between this time, your body is not eating anything. And so your body can't eat. You might have ate for dinner a hearty dinner. You might eat all this food, but your body essentially is not holding on to that weight because you went so many hours basically fasting. You need to stop doing that, okay? Wake up at a certain time and go to sleep at a certain time so your body can hold that weight. Now, of course, I cannot talk about weight gain without talking about protein shakes. The reason why I did protein shakes last is because they're not as important as people think they are, especially in the beginning. First and foremost, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do not drink protein shakes 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. I think that's one of the things that messes you up so much. I drink protein shakes 3 times a week because I go to the gym 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I drink protein shakes Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The first one, if you are a true fast metabolism girly, you can't even consume that many calories. Like it's so hard for you to try to eat all the calories that you have to in a day and then also drink a protein shake because your body just doesn't have that hunger. Like your body literally is not hungry. Once you start going to the gym, you need to focus on weights and not cardio, because cardio is what makes you lose weight. But once you start focusing on weights, over time, your body, yes, after doing it consistently, Miss Ma'am, not just going for 1 or 2 weeks, after you start doing it consistently, I promise you, your body will start getting hungrier. But you'll notice it in the beginning, you're able to eat more and consume more, especially right after you leave the gym. You'll start to feel kind of like hungry and just like ravished. That is when you need to start consuming your protein shakes. I do not drink protein shakes on the other days of the week because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, especially when you're first starting to get into eating 3 meals a day and your body's not used to it, I'm just not hungry. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I just don't be hungry. But when my body is working out that day, I'm hungrier. I know a lot of people are like, but I really wanna gain weight fast. And okay, if we are doing the numbers game, of course, if you drink protein shakes 7 days a week, 5 days a week, of course you will gain more weight than if you drink protein shakes 3 times a week. Yes. But let's just be honest. Let's look at our track record. Let's look at our past. Do you know how much time it takes you to make a protein shake? You're making 5 to 7 times a week? Yeah. Okay, let's just be honest. And how many calories a week do you think you are going to gain? If you do what you did in the past, because we've all done it before, maybe for a week or two, you do drink the 5 to 7 protein shakes a week, right? That usually only lasts 2 weeks because, like I said, it takes too much time and eventually you can't keep up. It's too many calories. Like, you're flipping way too fast. You're going from a girl that eats 900 calories a day to somebody who's trying to eat 2,000 or 2,500 calories a day. Your body literally cannot keep up. It's going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel bloated, and you're not even going to be able to eat the whole foods that you should be eating every single day. And you're going to be bloated, and that's just a whole nother thing. Essentially, now that I drink protein shakes 3 times a week, I promise y'all I've seen an increase in weight steadily, and I've seen it more than when I would drink the protein shakes 5 to 7 times a week because I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with it. But when I do it 3 times a week, I can keep up with it. The protein powder that I use, honestly, I feel like a lot of them are the same. Like, especially for like the weight gain ones I go to GNC. I go to the physical store. Like, you probably could order them online too. And I get the weight gain one they have. I think it's like 12,000 calories per serving, something like that. But that one is, the flavor I get is vanilla. I do not like the strawberry. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, but I don't like a lot of strawberry protein things regardless. I think it tastes nasty. I get the vanilla one. I don't like chocolate, so I can't give you guys a, whatever on the chocolate. But the reason why I say it could be any one that you have, like, I know they have like the serious mass ones you can get on Amazon and stuff like that. They're literally all the same. Like, I think sometimes people are like, oh, which one should I get? They're all high protein. They're really all high calorie. But the thing is, how much can you consume? Just be honest with yourself. Can you consume 5 to 7 protein shakes a week for more than 2 weeks? Or can you consume 3 high calorie protein shakes every single week for months? You probably can do the 3. And then, of course, as time goes on, maybe you will start adding 4. And then maybe you will start adding 5. But the idea behind it is, first and foremost, you need to start going to the gym. A lot of times, too, a lot of people will tell me, oh, I have a fast metabolism, I can't gain weight, and I can't eat a lot. Yes, because you don't do nothing all day. Your body literally is not even hungry. You need to start literally causing your body to be hungry. This will make you wake up in the morning feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to eat. This will make you, throughout your day, your body start growling a little bit more for hunger, because it's like, I literally burned all of this energy. When you start burning energy, your body's going to want a way to refuel it. And so that's why things like Apetamin and like all this other stuff, I tried it before. I've tried the Apetamin, I've tried the maca. None of that stuff has worked for me, besides the things that I told y'all in this video. Like, it's really about figuring out how to add it to your life, how to do it steadily. And I know everybody, in the video, I did say how to gain weight fast. Yes, in the title. But this is the fastest way I've gained weight. I promise y'all. When I did the protein shakes every single, day, when I did the eating all the calories every single day, I would not be able to keep that on. Like, I would gain weight fast, but I would not be able to keep it. Following these steps are literally how I've been able to keep it. I wake up earlier. I add little things to things that I already eat. Like, all of this stuff is how I consistently keep it up. And then, as time goes on, you add more calories, But like, when you start at a steady rate, I promise you start going like this. Like, it's not like, oh, one step. No, you start going like this. But you think you're supposed to go like this. Like, it's not going to go all the way up. You have to first start low, and then eventually it's going to shoot up. So one thing I also recommend is, now this one you do not have to get. This is something from me. I recently did create a planner. It is a yearly planner, but inside of there. So I recently did come out with a planner, and I'll show you guys what it looks like here. This is just an entire yearly planner, but it does have a fitness and nutrition section in there, which I do use. It's great because it has a weekly fitness tracker, so it can keep up like your weekly fitness. This is how I break down what workouts I'm doing on Monday, what workouts I'm doing on Wednesday, what workouts I'm doing on Friday. It's a body measurement tracker because that's good as well. You want to gain weight, but let's be honest, there's certain areas we want to gain weight in. So you can be able to keep up your measurements to see, am I improving in areas that I want to, or am I just, am I getting a big gut? Do I want to gain weight, or do I want to gain weight in my legs, or do I want to gain weight in my arms? So you could keep up with your body measurements. You have a fitness goal tracker. I'm at a fitness progress journey, so you can literally take pictures of yourself, a grocery list. So when I go grocery shopping, I only buy things off the grocery list, put in recipes, a weekly meal planner, all that stuff. And that's just the nutrition and fitness side of it. If you want to get that, that will be linked below. Obviously, you don't have to get that. You can just buy your own planner from like a Target or a Walmart or even an Amazon. But I'm telling you, you're definitely probably gonna need a planner. You're definitely gonna need a planner. And also comment below if you guys want me to create a video on how I gained weight but kept a flat stomach, because that is a whole different video. Because I did gain weight one time and my stomach gained a lot of weight with me. And so I recently found out how to gain weight and to keep a flat stomach. But if you guys do want that video, comment below. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. And I want y'all to have a good one. And don't forget to come back for new videos every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you.